live here on Pick Dogs and throughout social media. We're with you here Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, giving out live replays for today's card. And on today's show, I have a picture here from, well, college basketball. We got the Sweet 16, also Major League Baseball. Picture here from the NBA. Of course, all we ask you guys to do is give us that like, that thumbs up. We really appreciate it. It really helps to build up our audience when you do that. Lots of great live shows here over on the channel, so we look guys to subscribe. Of course, the drive-thru now is a collaboration with the Pick Dogs Cappers as well as the Tony'sPicks.com Cappers. So we appreciate you guys supporting all of our cappers here, picking up their premium plays over on the site, whether you pick it up over at Tony's Picks, where we have our professional cappers post their plays for sale, or over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, we'll have Javon on the site today. So, guys, if you would support the Pick Dogs and Tony'sPicks.com handicappers. All right, let's get the show underway. Let's welcome in Javon Brush. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Also, guest here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday. You'll catch him on the weekend shows over on Pick Dogs. Let's bring Javon in right now, ready to get the show started. I think we're set to go with Javon. Javon, what's happening?
Yeah, what's going on, Tony? How are you?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to this Sweet 16. If we don't get the upsets, we get some pretty good matchups here in the late stage of the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been last couple of years been a lot of chalk. People clamoring for upsets, and they're not happening except for some spot plays where they're happening early. But listen, this is what you're gonna get out of the NIL.
Yep.
The cream rises to the top, and money talks, and it walks. So there we have it.
Yep, it just seems that these mid-major are just feeders for these big conference schools. That's the way it is. If you're a head coach, don't complain. Try to get into a big school. That's what you got to do here.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt. And some of the coaches just leave town, and it's all right. If you can't handle it, move on. It's a full-time job now, not a 6-month job.
Right. Yeah, as opposed to football where, that's a year-round gig. Basketball is too now, so hey, you got to earn it 24/7, 365.
No doubt about that. All right, Javon, let's get to the games for tonight. We're going to be looking here into a tournament with Tennessee and Iowa State. Of course, we know Iowa State nursing having an injury there. Questionable status here for one of their best players are on the court. There we see Iowa State going to lay 4. Total coming here at 139.5.
Yeah, and I'm on the under in this one. With these two teams, these two teams are strong defensively. Let's just get that out the way. And, let's just say it now. Even though Jefferson, I don't know if he's a game time decision or if they made a decision on that, but he needs to be out the way, I think, in this one. He might give it a go, but he might be more of a hindrance because that's the reoccurring injury, and several times he's going down in the heat with that ankle of his. So look at it like this. Without him, they're a better defensive team, even though on the offensive end they're going to lose something. That's number one. So they're going to hunker down on defense. That's what I believe. And they're going to hold Tennessee to a low total. Tennessee, on the other hand, they're perennially a good defensive team. They've let it slide or let it slip a little bit from last year's ball club. But nevertheless, they can still get it done, especially against offensively, let's just say, not just without their best offensive player, without their full weaponry, they're not as good as what they are with them offensively. So with all that said, I think this is going to be a close game, tight game throughout. I don't think one team's going to take the advantage or get out to a substantial lead for this to be one of those games where it's late and the foul game's employed relatively early, like 2-3 minutes from the final buzzer. So with a close game anywhere from 2 to 5-6 points, I expect for this to be one of those progressively slower games as the time goes on. Things start being more deliberate, and with that, I think this stays under the total. I think it gets somewhere. They play somewhere in between the 60 to 65 range.
All right, Javon says that Tennessee and Iowa State to go under total here, 139.5. Of course, Tennessee, not the greatest shooting team. They're very strong on that offensive glass. So if they get second, third opportunities, you expect them to just reset the offense and even run more clock.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, but I don't think they have the decided advantage on the boards against ISU. Um, and we've already seen it a few times with Tennessee. They could go on long scoring droughts. Doesn't matter how many offensive rebounds they they grab. So it might be one of those games, and in that scenario, then we might see somewhat of a blowout if ISU can take advantage from hitting their 3-point shots. So it's gonna be a chess match out there. Two strong coaches. Of course, we got Rick Barnes out there. The first ballot Hall of Fame coach, and I butcher his name all the time. Olsenberg, whatever his name is, the Muscle Man. I call him the Muscle Man. Wearing the tight shirts and all that at times. Yeah, it's gonna be a chess match out there.
No doubt. It looks to be a really, really tight one here with these two teams going head-to-head here. Of course, it will be Javon here on Tennessee and Iowa State to go under 139.5. This one will have start time here, 10 p.m. Eastern Time over on TBS. All right, Javon, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Stream for tonight's card. Of course, a lot going on over at Pick Dog Stream for tonight. Of course, with all the Sweet 16, we got baseball on the board as well. NBA has a big card. This is the time of the year when all these sports start to overlap. What do you have for sale today over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I got about 9 plays going up on the board. There's all types of sports action out there, and I'm heavily invested in all of it. Got a 3-pack in the Sweet 16 Friday games. 3 key plays that I believe is gonna hit. Just some advantage spots that I like to get involved in. And then I got 4 from the NBA with this lame ass card from the NBA. I don't know how I got 4, but I did, and it's the players part market. I got 2 from the players part market that are situationally advantageous for my pockets, and anyone who's going to buy my pitch pockets as well. And then we got 2 from MLB day 2, opening day for some from the MLB. So yeah, got a lot on the board. Got 3 packs in both the NBA and college basketball. So get on board, jump on something long term.
Get on board with Javon Brush over at Pick Dog Stream. Link in the description will get you right on over to Javon's sales page. And of course, when you land there, you'll be able to find Javon Burtz there here with amongst the cappers. And of course, you want to scroll the Pick Dogs crew there, and you'll be able to find Javon's handicapper page. A link in the description there. When you do land on his page right here, you can see he's got his Sweet 16 3-pack up there. That is credit guaranteed. It must turn a profit amount purchased will be credited back to your account for site credits. That's credit guaranteed. Or you can opt for the long-term subscriptions. You guys like that 3-day all sports pass here on the weekend. Sweet 16, Elite 8 here Saturday, Sunday. So a lot of college hoops, a lot of NBA, baseball. We got our first 15-game card tomorrow for Major League Baseball. So a lot of action tomorrow. Javon's in action here. So get on board with John over at Pick Dogs. Pay promo code PICK at checkout. We'll save you that 15% off. All right, Javon, as always, great having your show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week. We can always catch up with you as well on the Pick Dogs morning show on the weekends.
Yeah, you already know what it is on that one. Saturday and Sunday, like clockwork, on the morning show. Giving out a lot of picks. So yeah, it's going to be the Elite 8 tomorrow.
That's right.
Some strong matchups. That's the thing about going chalk. Like you said, later in these rounds, we're getting crazy, incredible matchups. So, it's just one of those things where, look, when the cream rises to the top, you already know what it is for the later rounds. We're not going to see any Cinderellas. We're going to see a true champ in this one.
That's right. Looking forward to it. Yeah, really good matchups coming in throughout the rest of the tournament. Elite 8, Final 4, final game. It's going to be great. All right, Javon, have a great weekend. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Absolutely. Keep on winning. Let's get this money, and I'll see you on Friday.
We'll see you on Friday. Javon Burtz here on The Drive-Thru. Let's continue here on The Drive-Thru, guys, with you here Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. Let's continue here on The Drive-Thru. Kevin Thomas, you'll catch him over at Tony'sPicks.com. We'll bring Kevin in right now. Action here from the association. Kevin, what's happening?
I feel like Schwarber batting after Turner. I'm going to hit this one home, get Javon in here. But great, Tony. We got baseball, feeling great health-wise. So I'm just looking forward to a great weekend of sports. Plus today's card actually really good too, I think, especially with the Sweet 16 fight in Illinois. The fight in Illinois kept me in the the dance. My bracket's still alive, so let's keep going there too as well. I'm excited.
Yeah, excited with this fight in Illinois. I had them last night. I saw that good shooting. Everybody talked about Houston might not been as good this year. Of course, we forgot all about that after the first 2 games in the tournament. But again, once you get in that Sweet 16, it's a little different situation.
Yeah, you knew Illinois was going to bring their defense as well, and that was the difference because they can make those shots. Some of those shots. That was a pretty low-scoring game too. I like those. So I don't think we're going to see that with Michigan and Alabama, but we're here to talk about NBA, so I'll get to my game.
Let's get to the association for tonight with Kevin Thomas. We go to the NBA tonight with Wizards and Warriors head-to-head. Warriors here laying 13, the total 232.
Yeah, Tony, I think this is a great spot to take advantage of the Warriors' last couple games. They came off a 6-game road trip, but they ended that road trip in Dallas against the Mavericks with an overtime game. So people are looking at that, barely beating the Mavericks in overtime. Then they come home and barely beat the Nets. And the Nets didn't even have their best player in Porter. So I think the public's going to love the Wizards here getting all these points, but now they're home. You know, that game against the Nets was their first game home after a 6-game road trip. We know this Warriors team's all banged up. They're going to sit Seth Curry. They're even going to sit Steph Curry, both Currys. But the thing is, they have 3 games left with teams under 500 that are tanking. We all know the Wizards are tanking. The Wizards just beat the Jazz. You know that organization's pissed off at that. Winning on the road when you're tanking is the worst. Trae Young in this last meeting, 125-117. We know Trae Young's not even going to see this court. And in that 125-117, that was a Warriors win in Washington. So now they're at home, got that game against the Nets. That was a throwaway game. I think they come. Porzingis has a big night, but who I'm looking at in this one, I'm looking at Guy Santos. I think he's like the Jimmy Butler of the future for this team. 6'7" power forward, playing great ball. I got his prop, 26.5 points. That's points, that's rebounds, assists, and points. Over 26.5, minus 125. And if you can parlay that, some sites you can, we're going to parlay it with the Warriors laying the 13 points, Tony.
All right, we got Kevin Thomas here on the Warriors laying at 13 here against the Washington Wizards. The team is, as Kevin said, pretty much on the tank mode here, looking for those picks. Of course, Warriors, a team that looks like they're going to be in the play-in round this year. The question is, will they be a 10? Will they be a 9? Long shot for the 8, but this Warriors team, what do you see that from them here the last 9 games of the season? Or actually, 8 to 9 games of the season.
I'm seeing a team that if they can get healthy, can get hot. They still got they still got Porzingis, they got Green. We know how Green can play defense, get in the other opponent's head. We see Porzingis, he put 30 points up against the Wizards, kind of restricted on minutes, but I think they can open this up. And like I said, the three games are give-me's for them. It's the other games. Who are they chasing? The Clippers? Is that who they can?
Portland.
The Clippers.
Yeah, Clippers. Yeah, Clippers are in the AC. Portland, and right now is ahead of the Warriors they're in the 9, and we got the Warriors in the 10 seed.
See, I like Portland. I think they got healthy at the right time. I just don't know if they're good enough. If the Warriors get back Curry, and so also they know with Curry they have a great shot to win in play and go on a run. So I don't know with all that experience, but I just know they're going to beat the Wizards tonight at home, probably by 20 points, because the Wizards team, after winning last night or winning 2 nights ago, they're already questionable with half their team. I was looking at Kalabali. We know Trey Young's out, so I think they're gonna make sure they lose this one.
Yeah,
probably look at the under, but these teams that are tanking seem to score a lot of points because no one wants to play defense, especially after. What's his name getting really hurt bad, Looney. That kind of scared.
Moody, yeah.
It scared a lot of these players, especially tanking. Like, oh God, we don't want to get hurt. Just shoot the ball, you know.
Well, officially, those questionable are in for Washington. Davis, George, Russell, Young are out here, so their questionables are in the lineup. We saw that with the Pacers. All of a sudden, they got healthy, right? All of a sudden. I'm wondering maybe Adam Silver, wasn't someone in the chat that said if it was David Stern, tanking would never happen. I think Adam Silver's a little more softer than David Stern. Staverson was a hard ass when it came down to
Well, that's probably why we lost the hook, because it was 13.5, but I see the 13 is juiced up on your little number there.
Yeah.
So maybe that hook, because of some of those guys that were questionable are playing. I don't think it's going to matter. The matchup just doesn't go well for the Wizards, especially with Porzingis, and then like I said, Green. He gets in the forward's head. I think he's going to be a problem for the Wizards here.
And also
he gets ejected.
And Podazemski, he's a pretty crafty point guard over there, and I think with space on the court to operate, he can have a pretty good game tonight against Washington. You know, these tanking teams, they pretty much play man-to-man. There's no help defense whatsoever. You can see it on the court there that there's no communication. It's just kind of like man-to-man defense, and if you get beat to the hole, well, no one's going to help you.
Yeah, my only problem with the Warriors is why they gave up on Kuminga. I mean, the guy's playing phenomenal for the Hawks. I don't know if he just didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be a bench player, or I don't know, but
yeah, I just hate to, maybe it's the interrelation personnel here with Green, right? Green, maybe there may be something there. You know what I mean?
Santos is playing. Santos is playing phenomenal. So, like I said, I love his prop, and I think him, Green, and Porzingis out there. If you get anything from the shooting guard, that's even better. So yeah, love laying the points. It looks like a lot of the public's on the Wizards, just because of like I said, people look at past results. Warriors barely beat the Mavericks on the road, but that ended a 6-game road trip. Come home. Most teams after a long road trip stink the next game.
Yep.
They stunk against the Nets. And the Nets did everything they could to lose that game anyway. And then now I think the Warriors will reset, have a good showing. And the Wizards, like I said, those guys that you said are all going to be playing. The questionable tag will make it that they only have to play like 18 or 19 minutes, and then they can play the whole team because, well, they weren't feeling well, this or that. Then they have an excuse if it's like, well, you can't technically tank. Well, you don't have to play them more than so many minutes either. If they get more than 22 minutes per player, I'd be shocked.
Yeah, that's true. Plus, he won the last game. You're off the radar of the league office. So that's all, you know what I mean? You're off the radar. All right, we got the Warriors laying 13 right now, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, NBA League Pass channel. All right, Kevin, let's take a look over at Tony's pick for tonight's card. A lot on the board, Nate. Sweet 16. Hockey card, a few games. Tomorrow will be a bigger one. NBA as well. Baseball still on the board. We got to run across. No, we haven't. So it's been 9. It's 15 scoreless innings for the Giants. Have yet to push a run across. Down 3-0. All right, Kevin. So of course you got that college. Again, I wondered. You got that college manager over there. I don't know. Does he know what he's doing? I think I was concerned about all those balls falling all over the place there for the Yankees. If they had them positioned right or the outfielder were positioned right, who knows? But anyway, what do you got for sale today over at Tony's Picks?
Well, we got my Pristine Wager, which is my top play in college basketball. I got my secret sauce in the NBA, and I do have a baseball pickup. Nice big money line. I go after the big plus money lines in baseball. I think it's the best sport to take advantage of that. Like Tony said, probably a 3-day pass because we're going to have a ton of action Saturday and Sunday with all the college, with all the baseball. We got big hockey card coming up this weekend. I would go 30-day. Save yourself a little money, but if you just want the 3-day to take advantage of some of my picks, go ahead. I got a prop up in baseball right now too as well over at Tony's Picks, one of the only sites that I know of that you can get props. So kudos to Tony for taking advantage of where this gambling phase is going with everyone, fantasy, the props, everything's going props. So we're going to get a lot of props up for you, but I got a nice one up in baseball for you right now.
That's right. Got over with Kevin Thomas over at Tony's Picks. See the great results from Kevin NHL. Link in the description. We'll get you over to Tony's Picks and get on over to Kevin's handicapper page. That's where we'll be able to see what Kevin has for sale. Come up with a really good day today. He's got a MLB Friday home run profit guarantee secret sauce play in there as well. Best bet on the board, Pristine Wagers. And of course, any props are included for no extra additional cost on all long-term subscriptions. We'll have our prop page done in the next few days as well there. So looking forward to that. Premier Profit Guarantee. Get on board. And of course, long-term subscriptions is the way to go. You can see the 3-day pass. You guys love that here on a Friday, especially with the Sweet 16, Elite 8 on Saturday, Sunday. So get on board. Promo code TonyT at checkout will save you that 15% off. All right, Kevin, it's always great having you show. Continue that great success, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
You too, Tony. Thanks a lot for having me.
You as well. Kevin Thomas here on the drive-thru. Guys, with you here on the drive-thru, Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Like, subscribe, set those notifications. We greatly appreciate that. All right, let's continue on. Baseball on the minds tonight. We'll bring in Justin McKelvey. Find him over at Tony's Picks. We'll bring Justin in right now with some props for you. Yeah, really sharp on the props is Justin. Let's bring him in right now. Justin, how's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing, Tony?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to the start of the baseball season. And, of course, we're looking at the props. We're going to go over to a game tonight between the Angels and Astros. We're having some issues here with the line, so I'll let you know odds here. Astros about $1.65. Total sits at 9, but you'll be looking at this one a little differently.
Yeah, I really didn't like the side or the total in this game. But one thing I really did like is, and I should say I don't like Kikuchi. I never liked Kikuchi, and I always looked to fade him. And this is the easier way for me to break down games. Just look at the pitching matchup. And then one thing I also like to look at is how they did the previous day. And this only goes for, in my opinion, good batters. And tonight we're going on Yordan Alvarez over 1.5 bases. I got that at plus 100 at Fanatics. And I love this spot. And anyone who don't know, you just got to it's not 2 hits. You just got to get 2 bases, a home run, a double, 2 singles, etc. He's 10 for 28 against Kikuchi with 6 extra base hits and 3 home runs. He's coming off a day where they was 0 for 3. You can't blame him. They only got 3 hits yesterday. And Soriano, I don't know why they didn't hit Soriano. Maybe he's better than I expected, so maybe I need to move Soriano up. They only got 3 hits altogether yesterday as a team. Jordan went 0 for 3. With Altuve batting in front of him, I like him to get hits, runs, RBIs, but the play is over 1.5 bases. He owns Kikuchi. I like him to go yard. I like him to have a big day, 2 for 3 type game. I like the Astros to win this game battle back. They just got shut out yesterday. Good teams don't sit well. You bounce back, and Kikuchi is just what the doctor ordered. Give me Jordan Alvarez over 1.5 bases at plus 100.
All right, Justin here on Yordan Alvarez, 2+ bases at even money there. Yeah, I mean, you look at some of his numbers up. Boy, he hit 322, 293, 23. His year was cut short last year, but man, he has a career average of 296 for his career, 572 here on the slugging.
And the thing about him is he's an excellent player. He just never stays healthy. So you just got to bet him while he's healthy, and then when he's gone, he's gone. But you got to look at these matchups. And 10 for 28 with 6 extra base hits. One of those 6 will cash us out plus 100 tonight. So home run, double. With those numbers, he owns them. He'll be ready to get back in the playoff. We're going 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk. So I really like him in this spot. I posted this. I like this so much, I posted it on Twitter.
There you go. We got Justin here on Yordan Alvarez, 2+ bases, even money on the prop tonight, 8 Eastern Time, over on Apple TV. All right, Justin, let's take a look over at Tony's Picks for today's card. Lots going on today in the world of sports. Justin's been red hot, 787 units of profit last 30 days. That is all documented over at Tony's Picks. What do you got for sale today?
I'm kind of loaded today, but I'm on a bigger slate tomorrow. I got 2 plays in baseball coming up shortly here. I got 2 plays in NBA, and I got a best bet in elite college basketball tonight that I really, really like. And we say it all the time, like, and if it's easier, grab up the 3-day package and let that pay for the 30-day package, because we're going to win. And even if you don't, pair us up with Tony's and any of us on Tony's Picks, like Ron Crawford, Ramon, any of us. When you go into the bio at Tony's Picks, get 15% off. And I always say it, I'm just preaching for the team. You don't have to get me. Like, we're all hot, we're all winning. We got props here. Like, who else got props? So you can be looking forward to a whole bunch of baseball props, base plus money props. I promise they're coming. Probably starting tomorrow. I just want to wait like a week just to see who's what. And, you know, when you're betting props, you got to wait and see, like, who's going to start off cold, who's going to start off hot. You know, I want to fade the WBC batters and pitchers. Seem like they're struggling. So, you know, once I just let everything settle, let everything work in and get some data off it, we're going to be loaded up with props, 3 packs, 5 packs, all that.
That's right, guys. Again, we're with Justin McKelvey over at Tony's Picks. 787 units of profit last 30 days. It's all documented over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can verify that by going over to Justin's handicapper page. Link in the description there. You can see the green across the screen here from Justin. And, of course, today we did roll here. 3-day house sports pass is the way to go with Justin, especially with the Sweet 16. And, of course, you get that 3-day pass. It includes props, course, as you scroll down, you can see the individual plays for sale. Justin is ready to roll here with a big card. Remember, if you buy that 3-day pass, all those plays included in there in that package. So get signed up. Promo code TonyT at checkout. We'll knock off that 15% link there in the description. All right, Justin, as always, great having you on the show. Can you hear that great success, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
Have a good weekend.
You as well. Justin McKelvey here on the drive-thru. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. Up next, we'll bring in Rod Zawacki. We can find Rod. We're going to program today over at Pick Dog. So just to balance out a little bit here, we promise to have more of the Pick Dog cappers on as we've just kind of rolled this out. We've been running this on my channel for about maybe 3 weeks now. We just start the rollout, but I do have some confirms from some cappers. We'll get more of the Pick Dogs crew here on the channel to balance it out. Let's bring in Rod, catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium as well as over at Tony's Picks. We'll bring in Rod ready to roll for today. Rod, what's happening?
Not too much, Tony. Just looking to watch this little baseball game. Hey, the Yankees, probably Ray held them in early, but the Giants have been struggling to score some runs this season, get their pitchers some run support. I believe that was the same problem last year for Robbie Ray. He has these good starts. The Giants struggled to get him any run support whatsoever. And hey, Schlittler pitched a one-hitter through like 5-6 innings. So hey, it's really tough to get Schlittler. You get him rolling along, and we've seen him pitch well, and exactly what he did, and then hold the Judge down. We can't always hold the Judge down.
No.
We did last year a few times in a few games, but you can only hold the good down for so long, and then they smack it around, and that's what the Yankees do.
And
Ray, it'll be tough, I think, for the Giants this year.
Yeah, I think so. And Robbie Ray's a guy that really presses when he knows he doesn't get run support. We saw that last year where he really presses. And we got to keep an eye. You want these pitchers to be relaxed. You don't want Robbie A to be all amped up, and that's the kind of his issue here with this Giants team. And also factor in
the meatball is what he did. He got a little head job, served a meatball to start the top of the sixth, and away it went 2-0. Just snowball.
And remember this manager Vitello for the Giants came over right from he was a manager for Tennessee Volunteers. No experience in Major League Baseball. How was it? I don't know. I was kind of wondering, there's a lot that goes on in baseball. I don't know if you want to, in Major League Baseball, maybe the minor leagues, I would throw him in the minor leagues, but I don't know if you want to put him in a Major League team. There's a lot going on, knowing your players, knowing your pitchers. Many felt that he went with the starter too long yesterday. We saw a lot of balls fall. Maybe they don't have the infield right properly, defensive alignments. I don't know. I don't know. It's a big step to go from college baseball to Major League Baseball, especially with all the personnel.
Huge step up for the coach there of the Giants, because we know that in this day and age in baseball, it's not opener, setup guy, closer. Not anymore. It's maybe sometimes you have an opening guy to set up that starter to get going, and then you got middle relievers that rule now in baseball, and then you get the setup guy, and then you get the closer, and you got to know your players real well and how long they can work and then how much you can work them and against who and against them and with no experience. So learning curve for him and for the team might be some hard knock lumps for this Giants squad early on. I'll give him some faith. Give him a shot. Hey, he's there, and he was all right with Tennessee. Let's see what he can do with this Giants squad rolling along throughout the season. We know it's only in game 2 of a 162 game schedule. Maybe he'll figure it out, but he's going to be hard pressed. He's probably definitely under the microscope, and he's going to need a lot of work. It's tough. I wouldn't have done it. I'm with you. I would have let him coach a little bit in the minor leagues, maybe get a little more comfortable. But throwing him right into the fire, tough. It's going to be tough for him this season. I think it'll be tough for the Giants. I think they're going to struggle to score offensively.
Yeah, it could be really tough here. Speaking of tough here, can we get anything from the D-backs offensive? We'll see here as they face the Dodgers here. We'll give you the odds here. The Dodgers going to be 225. Total sits here at 8.5.
Yeah, and you look at this one. These two teams, when they get rolling along head to head, it's been Dodgers kicked off yesterday. Hey, the Diamondbacks got to the lead. Gallen held you in there early, and then, as always, Zach followed, and he got to the fourth inning and completely fell apart. Yamamoto just kept rolling along, got through 6, and then, as the Dodgers do, it's just they have too many bats in that lineup that can hurt you, and that's what it is. So you look at who's rolling along. give it to Nelson. His last 2 starts against the Dodgers, he's actually pitched well. He's made it in at least the 5th inning, holding the Dodgers down, and that's what you're going to need tonight. If Arizona's going to have any shot, you're going to need a huge start for Nelson. He's going to have to go at least 6 innings for you here in this one, and then you got to give him some run support. And what we've seen last season for this that ended off this Arizona squad, they struggled to score more than 4 runs. And against this Dodgers squad that's scoring 8 runs, 7 runs, 8 runs, 5 runs, 8 runs, you're hard pressed. And I think you're hard pressed again. Even if it takes, even if Nelson holds you in early in this one, I think once you get to the bullpen in the later innings, this Dodgers team just knows how to answer and pulls through. So I'll take the Dodgers in the run line here in this one. I think they get another win. Back-to-back wins to start the season for the Dodgers. Take them on the run line here in this one. You lay a little bit of juice. I think it's a minus 120, maybe even about a minus 125, minus 130. I don't mind laying that with the Dodgers. I think they beat up on the D-backs again here.
All right, Rod here going to be on the Dodgers here. Run line here, 1.5, about 25 here, kind of going against here. Pork Ryan Nelson here. That's going to be, he's still a young kid, but I remember back in the World Series, they didn't have confidence in him. They threw him in the bullpen. They didn't even use him in the World Series run, and had to work his way from bullpen now to starter. Again, the issue too also with D-backs is the Dodgers got to that bad bullpen. I mean, last year the Diamondbacks bullpen was one of the worst in baseball. They got 4 runs across on that bullpen. I know Gallen gave up that 3-run homer, but those other runs were coming against this bullpen.
That we know is awful. That we know this D-backs bullpen is awful. That's what I was trying to be polite, Tony. I was trying to be like the Dodgers, even if they get this late. We know they'll get runs late because this D-backs bullpen is awful. They made no improvements to that bullpen this season. So, if you get the D-backs up, I'm telling you, it's a nice live bet. You get a nice better price on taking the team that's down facing the D-backs, because we know they're going to be hard-pressed for that bullpen to keep them in games, especially late in innings. That 7th, 8th, 9th inning comes rolling around, and you see the D-backs start rolling out some guys. Woo-wee! You'd be sweating if you're holding the D-backs ticket. I'd rather be on the other side. I think the Dodgers just continue to roll. I don't know who's beating them again this year, Tony. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You look at the numbers and you dig into it. Who's beating the Dodgers? So far, it's early. I'm telling you, I think they repeat.
We haven't even seen Ohtani pitch. Tomorrow it's Glasnow.
Well, yeah, we haven't even got to. We've only seen the first couple. I've seen 2 games, and it's next man up, and the next guy up can smack a home run. The next guy up can get a hit. The next pitcher up can get 3 outs. It's the next man up for the Dodgers, and they got a lot of young talent that they haven't even picked into yet. So
yeah, I mean, Pages is a 9th hitter in the lineup, and he hit the 3-run homer last night.
And he hit the 3-run homer. Your 9th guy hits a 3-run homer, and so it's from 1 to 9. You're facing the juggernaut of the Dodgers night in, night out. You might get him in some slow spots, some bad schedule spots. I think that's the only way you might be able to attack the Dodgers, is finding some of those bad schedule spots where they might be tired off of a road trip and they might not care about a series, because we know the Dodgers do that a few times. There's a few series in the season that they're like, we'll give you this one.
Well, I found out from some podcast, right? I think it might have been listening to you. The Dodgers are very concerned about diet on the road. So I think they're very concerned on what the players are eating. So I think you're going to see less seed oil situation with them, because they're going to cross every T and dot every I to make sure that they are at full capacity on the road.
So the Lakers chef is coming along with the Dodgers now. They just bored him. They'll bore him for the rest of the season. Come on, we gotta have a. I wouldn't be surprised if you see that with a lot of teams. They hire a chef to come along for those road trips just for that reason. Because we've seen it plenty of times. Longer road trips, players start to slow down, get tired. You know what it's like when you're on holidays and you're sleeping in a hotel bed. Sometimes one night you might get a good bed, one night you might get this lumpy thing that's like, oh my goodness, you toss and turn, you get no sleep, and then you have to play a baseball game, and then you got to hop on a plane and fly to the next city sometimes, and it's rugged on you. So you want a good meal, keep you healthy going, and I think a lot of teams might do go.
Yeah, because the situation is, because in professional sports, okay, here's your meal money, go out and spend it. Well, what are the guys going to do? They're going to go out Friday night.
Big Mac and the
Dairy
whatever
Queen,
is, a lot
Taco
cheaper.
Bell.
Yeah. The cheaper food is very easier access.
McDonald's.
You can pocket some of that expenditure into your bank account because they give you plenty of money, as they call it, to have a good meal. And most people will cheap out and put the extra money in the bank and go with the cheaper version of whatever they're going to eat, especially out of the road, for sure.
Absolutely here. Dodgers running a half against the Diamondbacks. This one to have a start time here of 10 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Rod. Well, we're going to want to bounce it out. Let everybody know what you have today over at Pick Dog Supreme. Of course, Rod has been a red hot. I know he's on both sides, but we'll feature Pick Dog Supreme here on this one. Here, Rod, 678 units have probably been red hot in college hoops. What you got for sale?
Yeah, college hoops has been hot, so we've got 4 plays in college hoops tonight. I have 1 play on the ice, my NHL play of the day. We're on a nice 22-15 run on that NHL play of the day since the return to the Olympic break. So that's been hot. That's out there. I also have 1 play in the MLB that my first play in the MLB, so jumping aboard with it. And then, as I said, I've got 4 plays in college basketball. 3 sides and 1 total available. So what is that? 7 plays in total all for tonight's games. Your best way is to grab that 3-day pass. You'll get Friday, you'll get Saturday, that Elite 8 action rolling on the weekend. Saturday, Sunday will be down after the weekend's over. You'll be down to the Final 4. So loaded NHL card tomorrow as well because we only got 2 tonight. So you have those as well. Throwing some NBA as well into the weekend. Definitely jump aboard that long-term pass. Grab a 3-day, make it a nice big winning weekend, or a steak Friday. So I got a 5-pack that gets you all 3 sides college basketball. Throw in the NHL and throw in an MLB for you as well with that steak Friday package. But definitely jump aboard with me over at Pick Jaws, and let's have a big winning weekend together. That's
right. Well, with Rod Zawacki over at Pick Dog Supreme. Great results from Rod over the last 7 days in college hoops. On over to Pick Dog Supreme today with Rod. You can see he's got a Steak Friday play up there. Credit guaranteed. Must turn a profit amount purchased will be credited back to your account for site credits. That's credit guaranteed. Play of the day up there as well. As you scroll down, you'll see Rod's 3-day all sports pass. This is what you guys love to get here on the Friday. You've got the Sweet 16 tonight, Elite 8 tomorrow and Sunday, all your baseball, all your hockey cards, your NBA, all these sports overlap, and no better time than now to get on board with Rod on a 3-day pass. Pick is your promo code, saving that 15% off. Rod, is always great having you here on the show. Continue that success, and we'll catch up with you again next week. But of course, Monday through Friday, we can catch your show on Tony Speaks YouTube channel with the Happy Hour.
Yeah, definitely Monday to Friday. Tune in to the Happy Hour show, 5:15 p.m. Eastern. We got you covered on basically the whole card, on the day's card on that Happy Hour show. So tune in there. Definitely have yourself a wonderful weekend. And back on the Raptor here on Monday. See you guys then.
All right.
Good weekend, everybody.
As well, Rod Zawacki here on the Drive-Thru. All right, guys, with you here on the Drive-Thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. It is now a collaboration with the Tony'sPicks.com cappers and the Pick Dogs handicappers. I promise you we'll have more cappers from Pick Dogs here in the near future. Let's continue here on the Drive-Thru. Up next, Bo Dunn. Catch him over at Tony's Picks. We'll bring in Bo right now. Action from college basketball. Let's bring Bo ready to roll here on the show. Bo, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Tony? See what's happening.
Everything's going great. All right, here we go. We go into the Sweet 16 tonight. Really good matchup here. Competitive line here. Yukon and Michigan State. We got Yukon laying 2, total 136.5.
Yeah, man. You know, it's too hard to pick the side. You know, both these coaches, these teams, both been doing great. They've been kind of staples in the Sweet 16. We just seen Hurley win this competition a couple years ago. And, you know, Izzo, man, you know, can't say nothing about him. He done been to the Sweet 16 17 times, 11-5 record in those games. So I think that both sides, man, is going to come down to a really tight game. So I focus on the total in this spot. Early this season, you know, you bet Michigan State, they was pretty much an under team. But over the last 19 games, 17 of those games with the average scores of 139 and up. Both these teams do have good offenses. Michigan State averaged about 76 points a game, about 77. Connecticut averaged 80 points a game. I know their defense has been stacked, but in Michigan State last game, they did shoot 46% from the field, 42% from the three, and they turned the ball over a lot, but they do have the number one bench, averaging 25 points a game. They're number one on assists. We know at the end of these type of games like this, to make it to the Elite Eight, they're going to do a lot of fouling with extending the game and getting us some more points. We're seeing this total sitting at 135.5. We see it ticking up. I think it's for a good reason. We have Connecticut coming in, winners of their last 4 out of 5. And 4 of those wins, they scored 73 points or more. In the last 7 out of 9 games for Michigan State, they scored 76 points or more. So I think we're going to see some points in this game. And I think that's why the over is ticking up. So I like the over 136.5 in this spot.
All right, Bo says go over 136.5, Michigan State and Yukon. Of course, we've seen this one move up a little bit here in this matchup. Of course, Yukon have been a really good 2-point shooting team this year at 58%. You're looking for some points in here. We got to probably get into the 70s here, probably from both sides. But you see this happening here with the offense.
Yeah, man. Like I say, both coaches, they know how to manage them. The last couple of minutes of a game. So I think if any team, if it's a close game, we definitely gonna see a bunch of fouls. So I think that's what we're looking for tonight, man. Like I say, over the last few games for these guys, they've been averaging over 70 points. Connecticut scored 73 points or more in their last 4 out of 5 games. And the same deal, man, for Michigan State. And I think the reason why this is, man, they both had some great out-of-conference games. We had Connecticut playing BYU, Kansas, Florida, Illinois. So these coaches really know how to get these guys ready for these spots, man. On the other side, they are out-of-conference game. They played Kentucky, North Carolina, Duke, Arkansas. So the Big Ten really stacked in this conference. So they played some tough teams all year long. So I think with Connecticut having such a under season, I think that's why the total came out so low. But like I say, I think in these type of spots, man, you want to make it to the Elite Eight. So they're gonna play hard. They're gonna score some points. This thing that total just too low. I have both teams getting to 70, so I like the over a lot in this game.
All right, Bohan, Michigan State, Yukon over 136.5, 9:45 Eastern Time over on CBS. All right, Bo, let's take a look over at Tony's picks for today's card. Lots on the board tonight with Sweet 16 MLB. We only have one game off the board for 7 more here from baseball. Big NBA card as well. You can see Bo has been absolutely on fire over at Tony's picks. 1,527 units of profit last 7 days. That's based on $100 unit wager size. Bo, what you got for sale?
Yeah, I have a 3-pack available. I got 2 plays in college. I got both of the plays are honors and in those spots. So I like the Michigan game. I have a play in that Connecticut game. The Duke game, and I have another play in MLB in that Atlanta Braves. They playing Kansas City Royals. So I have 3-pack. My $19 best play is in there. So if you're gonna get one, don't get both, like you always say. So 3-pack up. Like I always say though, long term, man, the way to go. Get that 3-day pass, a weekend. Like I say, we've been cashing tickets, man, up over $1,500 worth of profit over the last 7 days. So I'm just really using numbers, Tony. You know what I'm saying? Not making it too hard on it. The numbers are always gonna tell the truth. So I like these plays a lot tonight. So make sure you grab that pack. Let's get this cash today.
That's right. Get on board with Bo Dunn over at Tony's Picks. Link in the description. We'll get to the site. All cappers have. You'll find Bo's handicapper page. You can verify all these numbers documented here on the board from Bo. 1,527 units of profit last 7 days. You can see the green across the screen here as well from Bo. 1-day packages up there right now. 3-pack as well as a $19 best bet. A best bet up there as well here from Bo from MLB. And of course, profit guarantee there. Or you can opt for the long-term subscriptions. You guys like that 3-day pass here on the weekend. The way Bo's running, you may consider that. We got Sweet 16 tonight, Elite 8 Saturday, Sunday, all the baseball. Tomorrow's our first 15-game card for Major League Baseball, so we're getting a lot of volume coming in. So get on board with Bo over at Tony's Picks. Promo code PICK at Tony T at checkout. We'll save you that 15% off. Right, Bo, is always great having you show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you next week. We can always catch up on, we see on some of our shows over at Tony's Picks channel, as well as some morning show appearances. We catch on some happy hours. We also see some on-demand content from you as well.
Yeah, man, I got a nice play up tonight, man. Go check that out on Tony'sPick.com on demand. And yeah, man, I'm really seeing the board well in MLB. I tweaked my numbers over the off season. So yeah, man, 3-1 so far, man, 75%. Big slate tomorrow, man. I'm gonna go pretty tough on the MLB. So if that's one of your sports, man, make sure to sign up with guys. I'll there to put some cash in your pocket, man. So let's get this money.
All right, looks like Shane Baz is going to be an Oriole. He's one of the last to get signed here in Baltimore here. Big 5-year contract. Here's some breaking news. Ole Miss, Trinidad Chambliss, has been ruled as eligible for the next season in college hoops. So he will not go into the NFL draft. Trinidad Chambliss has just been approved to come back to college for this year. So he'll be with Ole Miss. So that's going to really shake up college basketball, even shake up the NFL draft. Mississippi court just ruled in his favor. So that's Ole Miss will move up the boards here in the betting boards, Bo, next season with Chambliss coming back.
Oh yes, sir, man. You know, I always hate to see this time of year come, but it's like a bittersweet. College basketball is gonna be done, man. It's one of my favorite sports, especially MLB. So yeah, looking forward to next year. Oh man, it's gonna be tough. Congratulations on that right there, man. That's great news.
Very good, very good. They're here from Bo. Of course, Chambliss will be with Ole Miss. Again, college sports are in the news 325 every day of the year. It breaks news. So you got to stay on top of this because, we're going to be capping college football. I know, and it's a long way away. It's about 5 months away, but it moves fast there, no doubt there. All right, Bo, have a great one. We'll catch up with you again.
I mean, it just flies, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like it starts, next thing you know, it's bowl season. It just goes too quick, man. It's a exciting sport. Everybody love college football, man. It's gonna be great to see him back on the team, man.
Yeah, we'll be there. So it's be exciting news with Trinidad Chambliss going back one more year of eligibility for Chambliss. I know his bank account. I think they say he could make about $10 million in NIL this year. So that's another feather in his cap there. So big news there. All right, Bo, have a great weekend. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, man. Have a great weekend, everybody, man. Let's make some money. See you guys on Monday.
All right, Bo Dunn here on the Drive-Thru. Let's continue here on the Drive-Thru. Up next, Ramon Scott. Catch him over at Tony's Picks. Baseball coverage here from Ramon. Let's get him in here ready to roll with Ramon Scott. Ramon, what's happening?
Yeah, Tony, I've got eligibility left. I could play a little bit. And, you got to be going towards some type of degree still. I know a lot of people think they're just signing up. You got to have some classes in there. Probably token classes. Remember the old underwater basket weaving?
Yes.
Talk about it. I think they have that still. So, good for that. I think a lot with these players coming back, I think it's these guys aren't going to make it sometimes in the NFL. They have to be realistic. And I think applaud a player like that. Look, you can try the NFL, and maybe, he's obviously going to try that in the future too. But look, you guys, you're making we look at the money, but you're still making a legacy for your family. When you sign for that much money, you're supporting a whole generation, actually, of your own family. So, we just got to do it. That's what's going on. But, you got to have some classes in there.
Yes, there is a need now for dog walking. So I'm waiting for the first dog walking class because you can make money dog walking. A lot of money in rich neighborhoods, Ramon.
Oh, I mean, you forget about that, right? You go on an app to get, but hey, I mean, there's probably some real things you could learn there.
That's right, no doubt about that. I got to scoop it up. All right, Ramon, let's take a look here. We're going to Major League Baseball night. Guardians and Mariners here tonight, late night action. Mariners are going to be favored big today here. Here looking for a bounce back after last night here. We got the Mariners $1.65, $1.75, depends on where you get it. Total sits here at 7.
Yeah, I take statistics in college. That's what we should do, right? You want to be a handicapper. All right, so I'm walking the dog here with Cleveland tonight with Gavin Williams going. And look, he just continues to improve. He's kind of an underrated, unheralded guy. He was quietly elite, I thought, last season with just over 3 ERA in his 31 starts. A solid strikeout profile, limits damage. And, his road splits were pretty strong, and that matters when you're playing a good team like Seattle. Look, Kirby had the injury early, came back last year. Sure did a good job, but, still had good command, low walks. It went up a little bit from his historic numbers, kind of, but had an ERA well over a run higher than Williams by the end of the year. So when teams string together a little contact, because he's a pitch-to-contact guy, that's when he runs into a little bit of trouble. I think we already saw that play out. The Guardians tagged the Mariners for 6 runs in the season opener, and more importantly, they got into the bullpen. Last year, Cleveland had an elite bullpen, one of the best, top 3-4 bullpens, and looks like that's going to be the case this year. Yesterday, Cleveland's bullpen far outperformed Seattle's bullpen here. First game, what are you going to do? Data points, and they kind of look like last year's. Seattle's bullpen was better than what they showed yesterday, but still, I don't know if they're a shutdown unit. That's one area where the Mariners have to be just as good this year, or they're not going to be as good as last year. I don't want to say I have concerns right now for one day with Seattle right now. Maybe I'm more impressed with the Guardians here. They were strong in this role as a road dog in the mid-range there, the plus 125 to plus 175 category last year, nearly 14 units of return as a road dog in this price range. This is their wheelhouse. So I think Seattle right now, we want to see some more offense here, and we wonder if this lineup can produce consistently against decent pitching. We'll see, but their games are always tight in the late innings anyway. So I think when you're getting plus money here as much as $1.35 and $1.40, it seems like it's even been a slight move here to the Guardians. This one, that's where I'm going to step in. Looks like the Guardians. I know they feel like a kind of popular dog tonight, but I like them too. So I'm going to take them here. Could be another competitive low margin game, I think, in Seattle tonight. I'll take the plus money again. Let's see. Cleveland may get a sweep out of these. I'm not burying Seattle here just yet. We'll see what some of these other West teams have to offer up. The Astros couldn't produce any runs there yesterday against the Angels. We talked about that game yesterday here on the show, Tony. So we'll see about how deep the division actually is. I'll take the Guardians in this one.
All right, Ramon here on the Guardians here at that plus 140 against the Mariners. Yeah, Mariners always play these close games because it's a, let's face it, it's a pitcher's park. It's a pretty much sleep-inducing park. You get a lot of 2-2 games, 2-1 games late in this one, and it gets to the bullpens. And with a coin flip, you got the plus money on a pitcher like Javon Williams to keep you in the game.
Yeah, you got to like his durability here a little bit in this one. Look, Kirby, like I said, had those great numbers, doesn't let guys get on base, but last year after returning from injury wasn't quite that same pitcher there. Now, look, it takes a long time sometimes even come back from injury, but also I think with these two teams here, Tony, and the Guardians, like I said, they have kind of the better bullpen. They've always had a good bullpen in Cleveland here as well. So, look, Mariners have Cal. He can change the game with one swing, but there's a reason why he's a low 200 kind of average hitter. He's kind of all bop and no finesse kind of, and the Mariners kind of need to be able to put some things together. They can't go with any kind of Earl Weaver ball here, but that's what they often end up doing here, is needing Raleigh to save them a little bit right now. So there's just not enough picks, I think, in the Mariner lineup here.
No, they let one go. They let one go, right?
Yeah, that's right. So I think right now the Guardians just look a little bit smoother out of the gate here.
They do here. Guardians plus 140 against Mariners tonight, 9:40 Eastern time. All right, we're hitting the witching hour. Ramon, so let everybody know what you have for sale over at Tony's Picks. When red hot over the last 7 days, 507 units of profit. What you got for sale?
Yeah, basically going like one pick in each sport tonight. I've got a 3-pack with an NHL game, my top Sweet 16 game, and my top NBA game, and then I played my baseball game as a standalone $19 best bet. So just going with one in each game tonight. Getting a little dicey. It's a big NBA card, but we know what we're dealing with here right now. You guys were talking about those tanking teams a little bit earlier, and the commissioner came out today with 3 more new solutions. I tried to read them, Tony. I can't even figure it out what he's saying. Top 5 teams, and we'll re-rank them and see who. I couldn't even understand. You were mentioning David Stern, comparing him to Adam Silver. I think they're going to go with one of those 3 solutions there. I guess the more complicated it is, the more likely they'll still give it to the worst team. But then you'll have some team come up like when the Knicks got Ewing and the break was in. But we'll see about what goes on there. Hey, anyway, so I got those plays tonight. 3-pack with the multi-sport 3-pack there, NHL, Sweet 16, NBA, and then my standalone baseball game tonight over at Tony'sPicks.com. Also, Tony Amaro, we do have the UFC from Seattle here with a really strong main event here, and I'm going to have a package available in the UFC tomorrow in Seattle this week. Izzy Adesanya, who's actually lost 3 in a row. The great Adesanya has number 4 ranked middleweight going up against the 14th ranked Joe Piper here. Adesanya just $1.50 favorite, the 2-time champ. and we'll have some picks on that card. It's in Seattle, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific tomorrow on Paramount Plus. So you're going to want to get that too as I prep the weekend here a little bit with a big card. I went 4-1 last week in the UFC. So looking forward to that card tomorrow and see if Izzy, he's had a tough strength of schedule, fought some of the best, but just lost to him. He lost to Imavov last time out. So we'll see if Izzy is just, getting older. He's 36, might be going up against guys who are just too tough. This guy Piper coming in from Philly, a 29-year-old with a 6-1 record in the UFC, hasn't really fought the same guys, but it might be 2 ships passing in the night in the middleweight division. It's a strong division. So that's kind of what we're looking for this weekend. We'll be in action, of course, again with the Elite 8 here. Try to take advantage of some of those, and of course with Major League Baseball. Might have to drift away a little bit from the NBA until we get to the postseason. Right now, I know I made a big, every night I'm talking about the tankathon there with all those teams, anyways, and they're tough. A lot of when you get half the games, you're dealing with 10 to 20 point spreads, and no one really wants to put a whole lot on those games. With no rhyme, no reason is to win, and if the stronger team shows up to cover a big spread like that. So we'll get there soon enough. Teams are dropping back. We're down to the final 10 games or less of the season in the NBA and NHL. So we'll be in the playoffs before you know it. That's why we fired up the baseball here. And a good game here. Looks like the Yankees, you're right, Tony. At least we can commiserate and make fun of the Giants here at this point.
Yeah.
The Padres didn't look too good there last night, but I have a feeling it's more about the Yankees pitching here right now.
Looks that way. Get on board with Ramon Scott over at Tony's Picks. See the great results from Ramon here over the last 7 days. Link in the description will get you over to Ramon's page. You can see green here for 2026. Ramon, a lot of the major sports and minor sports in there as well from Ramon. He's got his best bets up there, profit guarantee. Hey, that 3-day pass is the way to go over the weekend. Lots of great action here over the weekend with baseball, Elite 8 tomorrow and Sunday, and more. So get on board. And UFC will be part of that. A 3-pack as well. So get on board with Ramon over at Tony's Picks. Link in the description to get signed up. All right, Ramon, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you next week, but we can always catch up with you on your show over on Tony's Picks, 3 a.m. Eastern Time, midnight Pacific. It is the night moves, a complete rundown on all the games coming up.
Yeah, and there's a big hockey card tomorrow night, so that'll take up a lot of time, although we're going to start dropping some of those teams if the teams that aren't making the playoffs. We'll probably just cut them a little bit, but we'll talk, of course, Elite 8 tomorrow. You and Javon were lamenting the 2 big matchups there tomorrow. Man, the Big Ten, what a run the Big Ten's been on here for a couple of seasons right now. Not only advancing, but covering numbers too, man. Really impressive. So talk about that action tomorrow, or late tonight, 3 Eastern and midnight Pacific with Night Moves. Preview the Saturday card here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel.
That's right. Check out Ramon here on Night Moves tonight. All right, Ramon, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Thank you, and see you. Yeah, good week. Good job, Tony.
All right, you got Ramon Scott here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the drive-thru. Time for my pick. Fortunately, it's a late night game tonight, so we're going to go late night as well here with you. We're going to go to that Nets and Laker game tonight. Let's get the game up for you right now. We got Lakers and Nets. We see the Lakers here, big favorite, 16.5. Total 224. I'm going to be looking at this total here. I'm going to go here over the total here, 224, Lakers and the Nets. Let's take a quick peek at the injury reports here from this one. Earlier on, it looked like Luka was questionable in this game, but of course we know the Nets aren't going to play much of any defense. This is going to be, and the Lakers have not played, despite their winning streak, their defense has not been very good. They've been winning games pretty much by outscoring teams. We'll see how long that can continue. But Lakers got it cleaned up a little bit. Just Smart and T-Row will be out. Of course, Smart is that guy you like on defense. He's out, probably a very high IQ player on defense. But Luka is in the lineup tonight. It'll be Porter, Wolf out for Brooklyn. Clowney here will be probable. So we got pretty much the Lakers scoring back here with Hachimura in the lineup today. Of course, Lakers coming back from that road trip facing the Nets. But looking here at the Lakers, they've gone over in 5 of 8 with really good shooting, spots of poor defense here. We know the Lakers have been shooting the ball well, but defensively may not know, because when the team wins, they don't talk about the defense. But I do, because we bet these games. Over the past 2 weeks, LA has shot 51%, but they're giving up 49% shooting overall. So the defense has not been tight for this Lakers team. So I like an over in this spot here. Brooklyn not defending as well. Here, Nets over the past 2 weeks giving up 50% from the field, 37% from three. I think it's a stat padding situation for these Lakers. Look for a big scoring output here. Luka is going to play. And to cover those lawyer fees, okay, there from Mr. Whiskers there. So check it out tonight. All right, let's promote Pick Dog Stream tonight here with my plays today. We're definitely will be balancing it out here with the cappers over at Pick Dog Stream tonight. I've got a best bet on the board. My 3-pack's off the board. I did have the Yankees tonight. Hopefully we can win it. Maybe I hope I don't jinx this because we're going to the bottom of the ninth here. Yankees 3, Giants nothing here. I've got a best bet on the board right now from College Hoops. I got a single play available from March Madness. That's part of my long-term subscription. That was part of a 3-pack. My 3-pack went off already. But if you get that long-term subscription, then you'll also get my play from NCAA tournament as well. That 3-day pass, way to go here, especially with all these sports overlapping. Get on board with me over at Pick Dog Stream. Promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. Either get that best bet or get the long-term subscription, the 3-day pass, and get my plays here for 3 days. We'll have plays in the Elite 8, Major League Baseball, NBA as well. So get on board with me over at Pick Dogs Premium. All right, guys, we're with you here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. Let's go ahead and recap the games from the show today. We had Javon with Tennessee and Iowa State going under 139.5. Kevin Thomas was on the Warriors laying the 13. We had Justin with Jordan Alvarez, 2+ bases at even money for the Astros. Rod was on the Dodgers run line about minus 125 there. Also, we had from Bo Dunn, Michigan State, Yukon over 135. Ramon liked the Guardians at that plus, but I liked it also. Guardians plus 140 against the Mariners. And my pick today will be Lakers Nets to go over total of 224. All right, we're back again here on the drive-thru Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Like and subscribe. Appreciate everybody in the chat today, like our firefighter Dave in there as well. Mr. Whiskers, Verdugo's in the minor leagues. He guys, he's with the Chihuahuas. So I guess he did not make the big club there. Austin Gomber did not make the big league club, so maybe he's going to be a free agent here. Maybe the Padres will sign Austin Gomber. They need arms over there in San Diego, and they like to go in the bargain bin for their arms. Ron Crawford in there, ready to go with KBO for tonight. KBO starts tonight. Ron Crawford really high on KBO, so keep an eye there. I think he's going to fade Flexen tonight. He's fading Flexen's going to start for his Korean team tonight. So the fade on Flexen tonight in the KBO from Ron Crawford there in the chat. So appreciate that. We're not going to see Flexen. Maybe we'll see him not. Well, we're going to see him in the KBO. Opportunity to fade him in there too. All right, that's going to do it here for the show. We're back again tomorrow. Back again Monday. Like and subscribe. It's a good week. Goodbye, guys. You guys make a winning one. We're back Monday.